Man, and what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another retro review. And the third of my SummerSlam retro review series. We are now on SummerSlam 1990. It's been a few weeks since I did one of these. I've just, had other things I was caught up with. But as I kept saying, as long as I get these retro reviews done by SummerSlam this year, then I'll be content. I don't want to burn myself out with this series. So I'm going to, continue to do these whenever, I feel like it pretty much. But yeah, we're on SummerSlam 1990, which took place on August 27th, 1990, at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Of the three SummerSlams I've watched so far, this one was probably my least favorite. I don't know. So far, it's probably my least favorite. It just nothing really stood out to me that much. I mean, we had some story development though, with a storyline involving Dusty Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. We had a good tag match. The best match tonight was no doubt about it. The tag match between Demolition, Axe and Smash, and the Hart Foundation. Other than that, the show's kind of really skippable. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just it happens. Again, as I keep saying, I understand that probably back then, there was a different perspective on things in the world of wrestling. The bar wasn't set too high at the time yet, because the bar was set really high when we got to such as the Attitude Era and whatnot, as I've said before. So wrestling had not quite hit its peak yet. And we get into the 90s, as we know, all the way into the mid 90s. That was kind of a really low point for the WWE with, their the low amount of talent they had on the roster, with most of them, leaving the company for WCW and ECW. And of course, they built. That's when the competition was really built around them. By the late '90s, the WWE was back on top and drew WCW and ECW out of business pretty much. So yeah, the 1990 SummerSlam was okay. Wasn't really anything great. So I'm just gonna just fly through these matches. Again, nothing too much to really say about them. We started off with the Rockers, HBK and Marty Jannetty taking on Power of Glory, which is a team of Hercules and Paul Roma with Slick. Match was all right for what it was, but the problem with this match was it was mostly a handicap match because I guess at the time Shawn Michaels was dealing with a legitimate knee injury, and so Marty Jannetty was probably had most of the time in this match since HBK wasn't really healthy enough for the match at all. Slick was trying to distract the referee a couple times with the counts and whatnot whenever the face team of the Rockers was about to get the pinfalls, but of course it didn't work out for them as as a Power and Glory win by pinfall, and afterwards they do an attack on HBK. I think HBK, remember, had to be taken out on a stretcher also after the match because they were really selling that knee injury, even though it was apparently a legitimate knee injury. They did sell it more by having Powers of Glory go after the match. I don't think we have too much longer also before Shawn Michaels starts going on his singles career, probably in a couple more years down the line. I can't remember exactly when it was, at least by the mid 90s, because that's when Shawn Michaels was at the top of the company, doing his best to carry the company, but there's just nobody else around him to make him look like he was that great as he was later on in his career. But Power and Glory win by pinfall. We didn't have Bobby the Brain. Well, sorry, Mr. Perfect with Bobby the Brain Heenan taking on the Texas Tornado for the Intercontinental Championship. Match wasn't too bad. I thought this was also one match I thought was one of the more passable matches on the show. It was kind of short, but Texas Tornado won. But one of the brief successes that Texas Tornado has, I think he did pass away in 1993 as well, so he wasn't really around for too long. But Texas Tornado wins. It's probably the moment of his career. We had segments afterwards of Heenan and Mr. Perfect just flipping out about him winning and they're coming back to the titles. We heard that from a couple different people today who dropped their titles, and who lost their matches. But yeah, for what it was solid. Texas Tornado wins by pinfall. He's your new champion. Then we had this match, and this is where some things kind of got a little bit interesting throughout the night. So we're supposed to have a match between Sensational Queen Sherri. This is after Macho Man Randy Savage and the Macho King taking on Sapphire. I think this was followed up from the match they had at WrestleMania 6, where they had Dusty Rhodes taking on the Macho Man Randy Savage and Sensational. It was a mixed tag match between Savage and Sherri taking on the team of Rhodes and Sapphire. So they're supposed to have both of them were going to have the men were having their singles matches against each other at SummerSlam this year. Well, before the match even started, they called out Sapphire, and Sapphire didn't come out twice. So they did count of 10, and Sapphire won by forfeit. So Dusty was looking around for her all night. Mean Gene Okerlund was looking around for her also. Like, everybody was on the search to find Sapphire. We eventually did, see Okerlund stand outside of Sapphire's locker room and see Sapphire just run there and shut the door. She would come out for an interview. So I'm wondering what's going on here. We find out a little bit later on, though, in the show what happened there. So yeah, the match never happened. The angle was good though. So that was passable. Then we had Tito Santana, Arriba, taking on the Warlord with Slick in his corner. Warlord wins by pinfall. Just pretty much just a squash match. Pretty much at this point, Tito Santana was almost out the door. It wasn't. I can't remember how long it was. Probably not too long. This is when Santana left WWE a couple of years later. Or could have been this year. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and watch WrestleManias again. But at this point, Santana was just being used to put people over, but the Warlord never really got anywhere in his career, so this match was kind of just a waste. This was by far definitely match of the night. The next match was for the WWF Tag Team Championships. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match. It was Demolition, but not Axe and Smash, but Smash and Crush, taking on the team of the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim Anvil Neidhart. Of course, again, this is right before Bret Hart, was going on his singles career. But Demolition was now more of like a heel tag team, and they added a third member in Crush. So it's Axe, Smash, and Crush. And now the rule for this match was, though, that since Demolition was trying to pull off the heel tactics with their third member, they were told that whichever member is not participating in this match is not allowed to be at ringside. So that was the case there, and so the first fall. So it was Smash and Crush who were in this match. So Axe was allowed to be at ringside. The first fall, though, Demolition wins by pinfall. I think after Crush hit an elbow drop from like the middle rope or something like that. The second fall, though, happened where I don't know if this was a botch or if this was meant to be on purpose. If it was meant to be this way on purpose, I thought it was a little bit weird the way they did this. But Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation, got the second fall when Crush went to break up the count, but he hit the referee. Again, I don't know if that was a botch or if that's what they meant to do. Because if you hit the referee on purpose, it kind of makes you look stupid because you're not supposed to be hitting the referee at all in the match. So that's how the Harts won the second fall, by disqualification after Crush hit the referee, and then the Harts got the pinfall on the third fall to become the champions. After the second fall, I believe it was, Axe came running down to the ring, and he hit underneath, and they were trying to pull off their heel tactics, with him coming down there when the match still tied at 1. But then the Legion of Doom came out to pretty much help out the Hart Foundation because Demolition had been calling out the Legion of Doom also lately as well, so this is continuing on their storyline as well. But still a fun, good match. Again, good tag match, best match of the night by far. And it just, getting just further, Bret Hart's career also further on as champions. I can't remember, where it leads on to this. I'm not sure if it leads to Doom have a match with Demolition at some point since they called them out. But, yeah, just a very good match. Definitely fun, fast-paced. All the drama going on with, Legion of Doom coming out and, Demolition trying to, pull off their heel tactics with their third member and everything. By far, match of the night. So, great job for those teams. Then, yeah, most of these last several matches weren't that great. Jake the Snake Roberts taking on Bad News Brown with Big Boss Man, special guest referee. Jake the Snake Roberts won a DQ after Bad News Brown hit him with a chair shot. The storyline, I guess, is something about how, Bad News Brown was afraid of snakes or something like that. So he was trying to kill Damien, who was in the bag, but Big Boss Man was just holding him back from it. Big Boss Man was a babyface at this time. And I'm trying to remember. Brown was hit with a chair shot. And after the match, he went to go hit the snake, or something during the match. He goes to try to destroy Damien. Was in the bag, but then they pull out the snake and put it around Brown, and Brown just freaks out. He's afraid of snakes. Bad News Brown apparently was someone also who wasn't utilized well at all in his career in WWE as well. I think not too long after this he left WWE, and So that definitely, I mean, I don't know. This match was just pointless. It was short, boring. I mean, a lot of these matches on this show were really short, also. So that's why it affected my grades. Also, weren't worth anything. Then we had this segment with Brother Love interviewing Sergeant Slaughter. This was pretty much Sergeant Slaughter's heel turn, going anti-American, just to start building up, setting up for a match between him and Hulk Hogan for the world title at WrestleMania 7, which that was good for what it was. Wasn't anything great at all, but so that's what pretty much that segment did. We had Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Nikolai Volkov take on the Orient Express, Sato and Tanaka with Mr. Fuji in their corner. Just a dull tag match, pretty much just, establishing Duggan and Volkov as a tag team. Wasn't really that great at all. I mean, these type of matches, again, matches that, I wouldn't want to see happen at, SummerSlam, like a big pay-per-view these days, but of course, probably the most they really did at the time was just SummerSlam or the Royal Rumble. Well, the Royal Rumble wasn't the thing until 1992, and Survivor Series. So I mean, I guess this is them introducing more talent. But like matches like this match you expect to see on Raw when not on like a big pay per view like this. So that's what it was. Duggan and Volkov win the match, and then we had this match, though. It was Dusty Rhodes taking on the Macho King Randy Savage with Sensational Sherri in his corner. Sensational Queen Sherri in his corner. Of course, we talked about earlier how Sapphire didn't show up for her match, but she was seen going into her locker room and wouldn't come for an interview. That's because before this match started, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Virgil came out. Pretty much, DiBiase revealed that he had, bribed Sapphire with all this money, pretty much, because he's money wins everything for him, pretty much. Pretty much just broke Dusty Rhodes' heart. He went chasing after DiBiase, trying to get him, but Savage took advantage of it, just beat him in 2 minutes by pinfall. So the match, was for it was, but the angle, was the effective part of this match. Afterwards, Dusty snapped and went looking for DiBiase. He was interviewed, and he sees them getting into their limousine. He tries to stop them before the limousine drives away. So Sapphire pretty much just went off with DiBiase. That just sucks. And then we had 2 considered main events for the show, I would say, but I hate when they say that because there's only one main event. CM Punk said it's a match that goes on last, and the best deserve to do so. So first we had Hulk Hogan with Big Boss Man in his corner taking on Earthquake with Dino Bravo and Jimmy Hart in his corner. I guess the storyline was this. I guess Hulk Hogan was out for a while, and then when he came back, he was being interviewed, and then Earthquake came out and just re-injured him, put him out of action from like April till like later in the summer, something like that. So it's pretty much just Hulk Hogan getting his revenge. For a big man match, was all right. Wasn't anything too great. Earthquake was someone who never really every time I saw him in the WrestleMania pay-per-views, he was just like pretty much squashing someone pretty much. It wasn't really doing much really for me when I saw him. I noticed probably getting up in the years where people were definitely starting to get a little bit tired of Hulk Hogan being the main event of all time. So this is the first pay-per-view he wasn't in the main event, not as champion, also because Ultimate Warrior had beat him at WrestleMania 6 in that classic title for title match that they had, which is one of the best main events in WrestleMania history, I'd say. So Hogan won though by after getting Earthquake not back in the ring, so he won by countout. Afterwards, Earthquake goes to attack Hogan, and then Big Boss Man hit Earthquake with the chair shot a couple times, just to pretty much prove that he was a loyal partner to Hogan, even though eventually I think he did turn heel again. Big Boss Man. But yeah, that was pretty much. And in our main event, it was Ultimate Warrior taking on Ravishing Rick Rude with Bobby the Brain Heenan for the WWF Championship in a steel cage match. Match was alright. I mean, not as good as their Intercontinental Championship match they had at last year's SummerSlam. The thing about the match was it was just short. It was short. Cage was used well for the most part, but it was just too short. Warrior wins by escape the cage. It's pretty much all I can really say about that. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for this this retro review of SummerSlam 1990. I gotta give this SummerSlam grade. I give it a C minus. It was all right. Just a lot of squash matches to put some people over. I mean, the tag match stole the show. Rude and Warrior could have been a little bit better. Hogan and Earthquake was what it was pretty much. and a couple just, matches didn't really care too much for. But that's it for this retro review of SummerSlam 1990. What are your thoughts on SummerSlam 1990? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, be sure to click my like and subscribe to our content channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. And with that, guys, I will see you all later. Until then, guys, have a great day. Peace out, everybody.